let's go. Both of these players are ready once again. Total Biscuit.
Oh, yes.
Nerchio versus MaNa. Game 2. MaNa decided to choose Tal'Darim Altar for this last map, and it looks like we have to get rid of all that crap on your screen before we go to
Probably
the
a good
game.
idea. It's like YouTube, Skype. Welcome to the studio right here. Alright, folks, time to get started here on Tal'Darim Altar, which is the choice of MaNa. No one should be surprised by this, honestly, and MaNa is really great on this map. And he is in the red trunks, and he is playing Protoss to the southwest of the map. Versus his opponent to the top left, as you can see right here. It is Team Acer's Nerchio. He is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Zerg. And he is one game up in this best of 5 series, and he is damn good. Just want to get that out there.
Yeah, man. He's been doing good for a very long time now. Not really any huge, humongous, amazing results offline. Battle in Berlin was his best result, but the field wasn't as strong as all the big MLG, DreamHack, IPL,
Indeed,
so
yeah.
on. But, you know, we'll see how Nerchio does in offline next year for sure. MaNa, you know my thoughts on MaNa. I expect big things from him next year for sure. And it looks like we are going to have a Forge Fast expand from MaNa. And these positions are actually really good for him. Simply because there's one Xel'Naga tower that controls vision to both bases, from MaNa to Nerchio. So it's a lot harder for Nerchio to find out what exactly is coming if MaNa decides to do anything a little bit funky here. And is he actually gonna? He's not gonna hatch first. No, of course not. And in these positions also is that it's hard for Nerchio to expand. I mean, he has to take the 4th base right round the corner, and even a 3rd base without killing the rocks is right round the corner,
yep.
Which can be exploited very nicely via Void Rays or +1 Zealots and so on and so on.
Yes, and that is unpleasant in that respect. It's an absolute pain to expand beyond that. But there we go. MaNa's going to take that Forge, appropriate timing, and no early pool or anything along those lines. Nerchio doesn't know where his opponent is yet anyway, so I'm not going to attempt to exploit anything. He knows that that's foolhardy on this map. So, we're going to be seeing expansion very, very shortly here from MaNa.
Yeah, and just delaying the hatchery on the natural actually doesn't delay it that well.
No,
it does go down,
not exactly,
but he can go ahead and just throw the Nexus down now. Knowing that the hatchery's gone down, knows there's not that much money being put elsewhere, of course, so he goes and double scouts and checks anyway, of course, and sees the spawning pool, sees 4 Zerglings being made, will resort to the Nexus. This map you actually can't wall in with 3 buildings, so that's something that MaNa will definitely have in his mind. As you can see now that he kind of has to build the cannon first to prevent the run by. He's actually going to go for Gateway, so taking a bit of a risk now, but I like the placement of the Gateway, forcing the Zerglings not to kind of slide and have their backs to the wall, but really go into the middle amongst everything and have a cannon there ready to do any prevent that. And actually, this is sexy.
Yes, it's hidden under the tree.
Under the tree.
Under the trees, under the trees, there'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the trees.
And these Zerglings, man, they're getting awfully close to actually getting in here. I'm getting a little bit scared for MaNa.
Yep. And he's going to use the drone to... Oh, hi! Drone!
Nerchio.
So clever. And the drone leads his little army. He's like, attack my minions, strike for the glory of the swarm. And MaNa's like, oh god, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
Little bit of damage is going to happen.
That's why, you know,
here.
the cannon needs to be first.
Yeah, pretty much.
But, oh well. He's going to be okay. I mean, the cannon basically goes down first, and then it can actually stop firing as they kind of walk in, which obviously is going to help out a lot more. But Zealot is in the way. He just has to keep losses minimal. Really, really minimal with probe losses, and it may be hard to do. He can't even build another Zealot, so because he's not mining for a very long time here. Nerchio getting a great lead in this game.
It's a good start for him, no doubt. And blocking that off was a very, very good start. And a little bit of, you know, let's say a little bit of advice there from Coach Apollo. Build the cannon first if you're going to FFE, because otherwise this happens, and Nerchio is able to squeeze in there, and probably just going to try and irritate his opponent over to the top. He's killed 4 workers. This is, without question, worthwhile. He's ahead in terms of his drone count.
Another probe goes down, and a second one on the natural. This is disastrous for MaNa. And we talked about, you know, he gets so emotionally invested in these games against Nerchio especially, that this could be a downfall. And another probe goes down, and there's a 3rd base going up for Nerchio at the same time, around the corner, and there's nothing. Like, Stargate could have already been building by now, and so on, but there's no way this can happen.
Yeah, and this will finally, I would imagine, finally get cleaned up, but after wasting tons of mining time, killing 6 probes in total for the bargain cost of 6 lings and a drone. You can hardly complain in that scenario, can you, if you happen to be a Zerg player. The Protoss, on the other hand, is rather upset.
And as the sentry comes out, he will be able to get rid of that, oh, maybe not anymore, get rid of that drone. As he goes into the extractor, but I think we know what we are going to see from MaNa here with this hidden probe, probably. So we'll have to see how that does develop. I mean, more gateways should be added on soon, but he's been slowed down so much by probes, by losing probes, being slowed down, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, eventually this will be broken through. Eventually, just keep stabbing it, keep stabbing it. He wants to finish that off, and that's exactly what ends up happening. But yes, to take stock of that, that was a lot of damage done, and MaNa's plan has been utterly thrown into chaos by that. Let me slow down a bit, and he's got to regain his composure. He must. The third base has been taken. As you said, the drone count is a full 11 ahead at this point, which is not a particularly pleasant position. And usually, Protoss can keep up pretty well with the Zerg for a while anyway, thanks to Chrono Boost, but that's not what has happened here. And still, that hidden mystery probe.
Yeah, it's hidden very nicely, and we are going to have more gateways being added on, so we can pretty much see what's going to happen here and how it's going to unravel. Meanwhile, more Chrono Boost is spent into the Forge, and he's going to get that +1 out, and he can get +1 armor as well, but +1 attack's going to be a big difference right now, and there go the extra gateways as well, so really good play so far from MaNa. We'll have to see how this is going to go down.
Yeah, I mean, if he can actually get some units into the base, that would be wonderful. It really, really would. He's got to be extremely careful with where he places anything. He just darts out to have a look. It's like, what's here? What's there? That's the vision range. So this is the area that he's really got to play with here.
Yeah, and oh no.
Oh, it's been seen. Oh dear.
Yeah, it's
well,
been seen.
That's that out of the window, unless MaNa Nerchio responds.
And drones are being pulled as well from Nerchio. Incredible amounts of drones have been pulled, so he kind of knows what's going on now as well.
Yeah, that's that.
And the drone gets picked off, probe gets picked off, and now the pylon's going to go down. Well, actually, hold on for a second, because if he gets a warp in, oh, he just
cancels anyway. Yeah, it's
so that didn't work out, and now, you know, MaNa's left in an awful position, so...
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go for a warp in, actually. I mean, Nerchio did pull an obscene amount of probes to the point where there wasn't a lot of area that he could have actually warped in from there, but still, he could have warped down to the bottom and actually hit this third really, really hard. I'm very surprised that he cancelled that.
Yeah. It's just interesting, just watching this game. I mean, there's so much scouting been done here by Nerchio, scouting all over the place with Overlord's Lings, looking for something. And, you know, he found that probe eventually. And it's just not working out so well. Meanwhile, here comes a bit of a push, but this is kind of expected now. Roach and Lings are out. We can make them in plenty. And so he's going to push out here. And this, not looking so good for MaNa right now. 67, 68, getting a little bit flustered.
Yeah, very much so, honestly. And this game has gone so... Everything that could have gone wrong for MaNa in this game has up until this point. Except for this, of course. You know, this was a fairly nice engagement. He takes out 3 roaches for the bargain price of 5 force fields. It's not really all that much of a bargain price, honestly. And he's got to make sure he hangs on to some of that energy, even though he does have 5 sentries available. Now pushing up here, a couple of spine crawlers being prepared for this, and Nerchio's going to try and hold this with just roaches and Ling, which should be fine against Gateway. But we'll see. This engagement could go really, really wrong for Nerchio, and things could get very unpleasant very fast.
I mean, +1 is done. There's no upgrades for Nerchio, just the +1 carapace, but these Lings are still going to die really, really fast here, especially with these great forces that have been planted down, and here come the extra wave of warping units, and he needs to keep these Stalkers and Sentries alive, but I don't think he has enough, man.
Well, there's 5 more Zealots moving in, and that's what's going to make the difference here. If he can just hold on, and he doesn't lose that many Stalkers in the process, just a couple here and there, but the Roach count is starting to get a bit scary. 30 more Lings on the way. I think MaNa's starting to realize that this is getting a bit unpleasant. Moves off creep, very sensible thing to do, and wants to try and pick off a few more roaches in the process, but Nerchio can easily dart back to his base and then go for some kind of Link surround like that, for instance. Crush the Zealots at the front, and then Stalkers just can't stick around in that position because they will just have their legs ripped off there by those Lings as they move in. Really, really aggressive defense here by Nerchio, but not quite enough still. I think overcommitting somewhat, thinking he had a little bit more than he did, and that +1 still kicking into effect for MaNa. He's certainly not dead in the center just yet, but he hasn't been able to do significant damage.
And he's still fighting, man. MaNa's still fighting, and Nerchio's one of his weaknesses. He's actually really bad at large injecting. Like, he misses so many all the time, but still has enough. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't quite work out well. But then again, he's still got more than enough now. Roach speed is on the way as well. And actually, hold that thought, though. Maybe he doesn't have enough, actually.
I don't think he does, actually.
I mean, there's no creep connected to from the third base, so it's actually really difficult for reinforcements to get around, and MaNa could actually take this.
He could potentially, and the Roaches come in the back. back there, it is only Stalkers, and the funny thing is he's only producing Roaches here as well, so you've got the Twilight Council on the way up, and obviously you might want to try go into Blink, and there's the 30 more Zerglings in, but now it is thrown back for the moment, but MaNa is being patient right now. He's continuing to apply this pressure, thinking that I smell weakness. There could be something there. I'm very surprised that he hasn't moved out to actually menace this third base. I really am, because he could.
Yeah, and we do have Blink being researched now as well, so he's building probes as well. He's going to be able to take the 4th gas finally as he researches Blink. 150 gas, needs that, of course, and meanwhile the pressure's starting to slow down a little bit for MaNa. He's going to go in, but he won't be able to achieve anything in surround time.
Yeah, this is where it gets really unpleasant. He's now stuck in a corner with no Blink, and Lings do tend to smash their way through Stalkers quite rapidly, but still, +1. He does have quite a few Stalkers as well, but gets thrown back again. Why is MaNa not attacking the third? Is there any logical reason for not at least trying to...
Because he can't get around there, man.
Yeah, there you go.
GG.
That was kind of a sad display,
Nerchio.
unfortunately, and I think just that first Ling attack must have thrown MaNa for the entire game. It really must, and there you go. That was a very strong display there by Nerchio, and a lesson for all of you Protoss on the ladder: build your cannon first, because that might happen.
And I mean, if that pylon had got up inside the main base and he hadn't moved it into sight range, because he actually was hidden quite well by that tree, just build a pylon, just pokes out, build a pylon right there. He could have actually won the game, because Nerchio had no idea. He was looking all around for something though. You could see him spreading overlords well, Lings, like multiple, like 5, 6 Lings going around all at once looking for something, knowing that when somebody falls behind like that, they kind of have to do something incredibly fast, either take a fast third or kind of do some form of all-in. You can't take a fast third on that map because of the rocks, and he did scout that too, so he knew something was coming from 2 bases, just didn't know what.
Yeah, I don't think he really expected that there was a probe in the base. I mean, it had been there for 5 or 6 minutes, so it was very well hidden, honestly, and Nerchio had no idea where it was. I don't know, I just saw a game of missed opportunities there for MaNa. Even when that pylon was scouted, 5 Zealots could have been warped onto the third, and everything would have died.
Well, Roaches were on the way, though. That's the only problem, though. The 5 Zealots would clear the drones and Queens away, but then the Roaches would clean up, I think. It's hard to call, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could have gone either way, though, but... oh, well, it didn't work out.